Prompters of the world, unite! You have nothing to lose but your chain of thought. I'm Ray Myers. Welcome to Craft vs. Cruft. Now, I could certainly be considered a technophile. I love tech, I live tech, it is my work, it is my hobby. But of course it goes a little deeper than that, doesn't it? I mean, I've been employed professionally as a programmer or software engineer, if you like. I've been a tech lead, I've led teams. My judgment with respect to technology is expected to be a little more nuanced than pro or con. Although I follow advancements with great interest, I also have some things to say about whether or not I think they're going to work out the way that is being advertised. So, for instance, sometimes when I come out against some of the things that I'm observing in the world of cryptocurrencies or NFTs, I'm criticized for that and I'm called a Luddite. I am, if you follow this channel, quite an AI enthusiast, but I'm also an AI skeptic. Mender.AI is where I try to split those hairs best I currently can. And so when I bring some of these messages, sometimes I'm criticized and called a Luddite. Well, after 2023, the year of generative AI and all the wonder and the excitement and the hype and the confusion and the unreliable narrators, you know, of course, this is 2024, the year of formal methods. This is the year we get down to brass tacks. So let's define our terms. What actually is a Luddite? What might it mean to be called one? I'm going to tell you what it means to me, and I'm going to explain why there's really only one problem I would have with being called a Luddite, and it is not what you might think. You see, in casual usage, we sometimes act like a Luddite is simply someone who opposes advancement or opposes new technology. Flat period. You might even remember, if you've seen the fabulous movie Star Trek VI, Lieutenant Valeris saying that workers on Earth at one point flung their wooden boots called sabots
into the machines to stop them. Hence the word sabotage.
Kim Cattrall, great performance. Everyone in that movie did great, I think. Have you rewatched it? But let's talk about who the Luddites actually were. And this is just by way of explaining how I think the term is usefully defined. If you'd like to add more historical context, the comments section's all yours. The Luddites were a labor movement. They were not opposed to the introduction of technology or the advancement of things in general. They were opposed to it for very specific reasons in a specific situation in the textile industry. They were opposed to the introduction of new technology in a deceptive way to the detriment of work conditions and the quality of the product. Does that seem like something that might be relevant? Something that may have been happening in or around your life recently? Well, then maybe give it a second thought. Maybe they were on to something. The history of labor protests has brought about virtually every benefit we enjoy in modern work life. So, for instance, I might share videos like comedian Adam Conover with his funny piece, AI is BS. Doesn't mean all AI is BS, but I think as a consumer, he feels like some wool is being pulled over his eyes, and I think he is right on the money with respect to that. I've shared that in people saying, well, you know, he's a comedian, what does he know? I mean, that's true. So when he says, for instance, a bunch of dumbass companies are lying about what their broken tech can do so they can sell us worse versions of things we already have, end quote. I mean, that's just the opinion of a comedian who's particularly good at putting words together. So if you wanted to look at AI skeptics who are experts in the field, they do exist. You can go look at a Gary Marcus or a Grady Booch or an Emily Bender, a Timnit Gebru. Perhaps you'd suggest others. And if you want, in my opinion, which is not that of an AI expert, but nonetheless an expert in software engineering with a degree in computer science and 2 first and 2 second place titles in regional artificial intelligence competitions, and has just been doing my well best to keep up with what's going on since GPT-4 came out in March of last year, then You could take my word for it that of the many important things going on, one of them is that a bunch of dumbass companies are lying about what their broken tech can do so they can sell you worse versions of the things you already have. Now, fearing new things is its own kind of cognitive bias, right? We don't want to fall into that. We don't want to be afraid of things just because they're new or just because they're old. They might be old and they're new to us. So as we see new technologies, new methods, new ideas, maybe old ideas that are new to us, if we feel they can provide us real benefit and we know how to implement them in a way that will not hurt the situation, then by all means, let's do it. Let's get on board. Let's make this happen. And if it can't be implemented without making the situation worse, well, maybe it's not as good, not as world-changingly good as you said it was. So slow down. Let's figure out how to do this right. If it's so good, we can do it right. And that is why, if you did call me a Luddite, not only is that not an insult to me, but my only worry is that I might not live up to that title. At this point, I dare only call myself an aspiring Luddite. As software professionals, we have been given a lot of power in society, and we have an obligation to try and use it well. And we're going to be calling a lot of balls and strikes about what is some revolutionary improvement we should look at doing, and what is just some overfunded bully who made it into the conversation. We're not here to turn down a dime out of fear of missing out. We're here to use our judgment. And that's what we're going to do. Whether the idea is new or old, if you see positive change, embrace it. And if you see AI or any new technology being implemented in a way that is deceptive, that degrades the quality of the product, and degrades work conditions, throw your shoes in the gears. And as it is said in the Tao Te Ching, with patience, the most tangled cord may be undone. Thank you.